Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again with another edition of a Felons Talk. Yesterday, I did a pretty long video, longer than I usually do, and I was all over the place. I was starting talking about one major subject, which was J Block in Lewisburg, and I ended up going in 15 different directions. Uh, Today, I think I'm going to try to stay more focused on the topic at hand, and that's going to be mafia guys that I knew in prison. Um, Everybody likes to hear about the mob. Um, to begin with, somebody asked me if I knew Sonny Franzese. Actually, I did know, but I didn't know him well. I lived next door to him for like 6 months. He lived in 6'9", and I lived in 6'10". These were six-man cells in B Block in Atlanta. But you got to understand, I was about 25 at this time. His cell partner was gosh, everybody knows this guy's name. Uh, the Colombo boss. His buddy is, hold on. Let me look because I forget his name, man. Jesus Christ. Persico. Yeah, Carmine, little Carmine Persico. Him and Carmine Persico were in the cell next to me. These were older guys. I think Sonny was really old at the time, like maybe 60. Yeah, I think Sonny was like, he didn't look it. He looked, fresh. He looked maybe like he was a 45-year-old guy. Um, Little Carmine Persico, he was kind of a character in a way. I used to watch him in Lewisburg when he used to come out and yell at the guys in the segregation unit. And he was always laughing and joking and promising to send him stuff over there and stuff. And he would send stuff over. We used to have a little a way to get stuff from general population. Well, from A Block, we'd throw a line, and they'd throw a line, and we'd hook lines, and we pulled up the packages. A lot of packages got lost. The lines broke, and hundreds of dollars worth of commissary and weed stuff was just laying there on the ground between the two units. But anyway, little Carmine, I used to think he had like a birth defect because his arm was kind of like a chicken wing, right? Anyway, pardon me, man. I have like my nose is a little stuffed today. Um, his little chicken wing, he was only like 5'6", maybe 150 pounds at the most. Uh, wasn't an imposing guy at all, you know. Uh, but those two guys were, cell partners, and they hung out totally and completely together. And like I say, I was 25. I was doing my thing, and the way most mob guys do their time is like very, they don't run around getting drunk and stuff like that. Uh, Pretty much stay to themselves. Uh, what I do remember is one morning, Sonny came in my cell and woke me up. He said, "There's been a murder in the unit. If you don't want to get locked in, you better get up and get out of the unit right now." Which, like when there's a murder, what they'll do is they'll lock the unit down and try to find evidence and stuff like that, and you might be locked in for a while. In the old days, they wouldn't lock the unit down as long as they will nowadays. Nowadays, they might lock it down for a week. Them days, they lock it down for a couple of hours just to figure out, what was going on and take the body out and all that stuff. But that was it. He came in and told me, get up real quick, and I did. I jumped up and went to the laundry where I had my I had a job in the laundry, but I didn't usually go in that early. But I did this that day, and I appreciated what he did. I thanked him later on. And the only other thing I can remember about Sonny was that he got locked up on protective custody by the administration. Damn it, when was that? Man, sometime in '79. I don't know. I don't know the whole goddamn story about his case and everything, but some other mob guy in Danbury, Connecticut, was also put on protective custody. There was something going on in New York City, power grab. I don't know if it had anything to. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to sit here and like make up a story because I really don't know. Uh, but he let everybody know like I'm not here because I want to be. They locked me up for protection. I don't need protection. I want to sign a John Wayne and go back out in population. John Wayne means you know, I relieve you of responsibility. I don't have any problems, and if somebody kills me, you're not to blame. I'm John Wayne, and I can handle anything. So that's how uh, that's how he got back on population. But very little I know about the guy. A lot of mob guys. Uh, what they'll do is they'll real mob guys don't go to the mess hall at all, even on Christmas Day. When they have a big special meal and stuff. They'll have everything brought to them from the kitchen. They got money, they'll pay for it. Okay, they'll cook, they'll eat with their homies. Uh, yeah. I was in Raybrook with what the hell is his name again? My old cellie, Carmen Trattora. Carmen was a big, huge guy, right? Carmen had robbed a bank in Boston, and they got 10 years. Him and Freddie Ionella and Frenchie, they all robbed the bank. They did their time, went home, and while he was in the halfway house, he gets the call, you know, put on your best suit and come to such and such an address, and well, it was just a ceremony where they make you in the mob, and prick your finger, burn a saint, the whole 9 yards, right? This is the crazy story, right? So what happened was one of the people was became an informant for the FBI and it was held in some guy's sister's house, and he allowed the feds to come in and set up recording and video equipment for that ceremony. I don't know how many people were made that day. I think it was four: Carmen Trator and three other guys, right? They actually filmed the whole damn thing, okay? And then, of course, they were arrested and everything, organized crime. And they didn't get much time out of that. But he was my celly, and he was a good dude, man. He was a big guy. He loved to eat. He ate himself into diabetes, I liked him a lot. He had a job down in the commissary. And basically, they wrote a book about this. It's called The Ceremony. I don't know who wrote the book, but it's essentially about the fact that the FBI set up a sting in somebody's house for a making ceremony. And I don't know if it was a Jerry Angulo or if it was Raymond Patriarca's son, but one of the big heads of the New England Mafia was there. And he walked right into it. And he was still in a halfway house, for Christ's sake, man. didn't really. Anyway, he was a good dude, and another good dude would be Novio Turquette. Novio's passed away now. He died of cancer. Uh, Novio had the first ever um, RICO case in the federal district of Massachusetts. There's only one federal district in the state. He had the very first RICO act. Him and his crew were had a burglary crew. They would come in through the roofs of pharmacies. They'd break in, take all the Class A narcotics, and they'd sell them. They were making a lot of money. Uh, there's thousands. I've robbed fucking pharmacies. I know how much stuff used to be in them things. See, back in the day, there were a lot of mom and pop pharmacies in the United States. Now you got the big ones like Walgreens and Rite Aid and stuff like that. You don't see any more mom and pop pharmacies. But if you used to, you had to go in there and they were just filled with Dilaudid and morphine and just about any kind of Class A narcotic you want, and worth a lot of money as well. Uh, and so that was Novio. Anyway, Novio was came from a family of gangsters. His father got caught selling 125 grams of coke to a DEA agent at the age of 74. His father, right? Uh, his mother was in jail. He was a different kind of a gangster. Okay, traditional gangsters in prison don't fuck up. They don't get in much trouble. They stay away from a lot of the bullshit. Uh, Novio, he wasn't a drug user, but he did have his hands in bringing drugs into the institution and selling them. And yeah, he was a trip. And he was my good buddy, man. And he wanted me to be his, his, like a lot of these big mob guys, they'll have a guy that does everything for them, cleans the cell, wash the clothes, the food, this, that. They'll run errands. It's like a big, like an errand boy type situation. And Carmine had one. He lived across the block on the other side of the block. Big guy from Maine, and you Novio asked me because he liked me so much. I mean, we hung out so much together anyway. So he figured, what the hell, man? You might as well just. But something about like me being another man's, cooking his food and doing his clothes. No, I can't do that. It's not me. And he understood that. But I mean, he saw that I was trustworthy and you know, I'm a good dude, and so he basically, and then we hung out together anyway. So, but I just couldn't, I can't put myself in that role, man. It would have been because I mean I could have had a lot of drugs, because he was moving a lot of. I still got a lot of drugs out of him, Let me be honest here. Uh, but yeah, we were cool as shit, man. And like I say, these guys never went to the mess hall, man. Never, uh, bringing food to them. Like they spent more money on food than they hundreds of dollars a month, uh, maybe thousands actually. Uh, yeah, and Novio is a good man. He passed away. Uh, as time goes on, I'll think about other guys that I knew who were. Oh, Tony Zizzo from Chicago. Tony Zizzo was a little 5'2", maybe 5'3". Looked like a little, looked like one of Santa's elves. A cherubic face guy, always smiling, always laughing. Uh, and he was a big bookmaker from Chicago. And we used to eat together, and he was one of the Italian guys. So but he was from Chicago. There were other guys, from other parts of the country that were also Italian, and we would all eat together. And Tony wasn't doing a lot of time, and then he ended up going home, and he ended up disappearing. Um, look up his name, Tony, Little Tony Zizzo, Zizzo. Google his name. You'll see what happened to him. Nobody's ever found the body. And I can't ever imagine this guy being a tough guy. You know what I mean? He was just too small and too jovial. His, his character and his personality. He wasn't a killer. He wasn't that kind of a guy. Okay, he was a moneymaker, and he was running with some of the most dangerous guys in the outfit. Uh, but at the same time, he went to meet a guy, and they were supposed to talk over uh, an issue about some Joker poker machines and locations and so forth that he controlled, and he never came back from that meeting. And it's been over 15 years now, I guess, and the FBI still has like a, if anybody finds this guy, we'll give you $25,000 reward or something, but nobody's going to find him anyway. And that's a little bit about the mob guys. I'll probably think of more tomorrow, but right now I just want to get one video out because people were asking me questions about. Oh, um, Ernie Boy Abamonte just got out of prison a few years ago. He's in his mid 70s. He just got back out, and he was a big heroin dealer from East Harlem. He was also a good friend of little Herbie Sperling, Gigi, big fat Gigi the whale they called him. Uh, yeah, Gigi, and I was there with Quack Quack Rogerio. He was in J Block in Lewisburg back in the 70s. Uh, yeah, so I mean, there's so many different guys, but Abamonte was amazing because he got caught setting up a drug deal while he was in prison with an informant, and that informant, he was told, listen, you got to spend 30,000. We're not doing business with anything less than $30,000. And the informant called the FBI or the DEA and said, this is the situation. And they set it up and they started making purchases. And they moved the case along. They made numerous purchases until one day they were able to raid a house on Long Island where they found millions of dollars worth of heroin, cocaine, and like maybe 5 million in cash. And the house was like completely empty aside from all the drugs and money. He picked up another 10 years for that. And he's been in and out again all of his life. And I think he just got out. He just did some time for extortion. Yeah, just did some time for extortion. He's mid 70s, smooth guy, uh, teeth like a fucking horse. Teeth are about that big. He smiles. He looks like he's doing a Chiclet commercial. Anyway, that's about it for today. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna do something about the Dixie Mafia and all the guys that I met that were, uh, from down south. A lot of cool guys, man, from down south who were bank robbers mostly. I used to, I love to hear their stories and how they how they got down in the streets. I really respected them, and they were all thorough guys. They were laid back, but they were definitely good people to do time with. So that's enough for today. I don't want to make this too long. It's already going to be about 20 minutes. Please like and subscribe. Uh, This is Felons Talk, and I'll be back again tomorrow.